Yeah, Aaron Maven is live at East Bay, and I mean, it looks like a river flowing right behind you, Aaron.
Kyle, we have waves on Market Street. We have many waves on Market Street right now. The wind is pushing this water. It is rushing up East Bay Street right now and taking a turn on Market Street. We have seen it all morning long.
Right now, law enforcement officials in the city of Charleston are focusing on the people that have stayed and to help keep them safe as well as for themselves. Now, right here in downtown Charleston at the Gilliard Center, we're not seeing much wind, but we're seeing a lot of rain. As Bill Walsh was just saying, if you look into the light, you can actually just see how hard it is pouring down on us right here. And also, I'm not seeing anyone out on the road right now. The only people I'm seeing going back and forth are law enforcement officials. Live in downtown Charleston, Colby Satterfield, Live 5 News.
All right, Colby, thank you very much. And, of course, we are feeling the effects, as you saw in Colby's shot. Karina Bolster is feeling them as well. She's live downtown at the Battery. And, Karina, you look like you're having a go at it.
Well, Raphael, conditions continue to worsen here. The gusts are coming in so strong right now, and bear with me. So let me just give you an example. I'm 5 feet 9 inches tall. I weigh over 100 pounds, and hang on one second. We have something about to fly away. That's how gusty this is right now. So I am moving with the wind. The wind is pushing me across the walkway here. That's how powerful it is. And I know Bill Walsh and Jordan have been telling you about how these winds are going to increase. Well, I can tell you right now, they are increasing right now. It is very hard to stay out here. I have not seen anybody out here on the walkway, which is a good thing. But as you can only imagine, stay inside if you can, because these conditions are going to worsen as they already have in the last 30 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody. We're all here to talk about this hurricane as it approaches us. Bill Walsh just said something that stood out to me, Debbie and Raphael and Lisa, and that is when this storm hits us, if it hits us, and it probably will, we're going to feel it more than Florida. There's going to be more damage here than it did in Florida?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. And it is hitting us. It's going to hit us whether it makes a landfall or not. There's no real big difference in what the storm impact will be with this thing. What's going to happen, though, is with Florida, it was paralleling the coast. This one is going to, the coast comes up to meet it because it's southwest to northeast, so the coast comes up to meet it. So whether it makes landfall or not, it's along the coast longer, and the wind field is going to be expanding at that point. So I think certainly that Florida had a very close call with this. I think, Jacksonville was a little closer than Titusville. But bottom line is, I think there's a good chance it's going to make landfall someplace across the mid-Carolina, South Carolina coast, whether it be Charleston or Edisto. The only difference being wherever that is, just to the north of that, we'll see the most damage, the most hurricane winds within about a 20-mile window of that eye wall.
Hey guys, I'm here at what residents nearby are calling the biggest souvenir left by Hurricane Matthew. Take a look at this. You can just see that this gigantic tree completely shredded in half. You have this half right here. It's completely blocking the entire road. This is Calvert in North Charleston. And the other half, fortunately, it did not hit this house too much, a little bit at the very top, but that's mostly lighter debris. You can see for the most part it hit their recycling and garbage bins, and mailbox is still intact. No mail for these people right now. But what we're looking at is just some shredded limbs right now, gigantic limbs. We had 2 officers who were just walking through here to make sure there is no one trapped underneath or anything was detrimental over here, and both of them said that this is the worst thing that they have seen so far after Hurricane Matthew in North Charleston. But we're going to be driving around looking for more updates. We've seen a couple down trees. It's still very windy out here right now. No rain. We haven't seen rain for probably a good hour, but of course we'll keep you updated as the day goes on. Right now I'm reporting in North Charleston. Sydney Ryan, Live 5 News.
Downtown, we've got our own Aaron Maben standing by. He's been live all over downtown covering the storm for us live out there. Where are you now, Aaron?
Oh. We're on Market Bay and State Street. We're talking about these back winds. These are the strongest winds we got out here at 12 o'clock this morning. This mirror that you see right here, it was right up there. and now it actually looked like that right there. It has been ripped down. It just can't sustain these powerful winds that we are feeling out here. You know, all day long, the wind was actually coming from the harbor. I was talking about that, but now we're seeing it coming in this way. So I know it's where our photographer Craig Lloyd is shooting. It is actually nice right now, but as we get another guy, you know, it's picking up. Just a few minutes ago, we were actually in here a little bit more, getting closer to this rail, and you can see how it picks up as we. You can see how it picks up like this, Bill. You see, these are the gusts we're dealing with right now. This is why we were telling people to stay inside. This is why trees are falling, these gusts like this right here. It has been very alarming how, for a second, honestly, I thought that this storm was out of here. And then these winds and the rains, they returned. So that's where we stand right now. Again, we're underneath the market pavilion. We are feeling these heavy wind gusts. You know, we're feeling right now we have to keep our feet shoulder length apart so that we're not tipping over. That's what we have right now.
Okay, Aaron, you be safe out there. Remember, flying debris is where people get hurt and killed with storms as well. As Aaron just pointed out, that big giant mirror came flying out. I remember seeing during Hugo, watching a yield sign doing this, and then boom, it took off like a boomerang.
Point area from the harbor coming in from the old village, and then it's bumping up against the battery. If we had a shot right now out of the battery, I think we'd be seeing amazing wave action crashing on shore. It's not overtopping at this point. It's not.
Sure it's
got to be overtopping and just pouring into the road because we're not.
We got some
do have video from Patriots Point.
We'll get some. Take a look at this video from Patriots Point. But there it is. Oh wow!
Oh
look at that.
Gosh!
Okay, so. Yeah, you know.
All right, folks, this breaking news just into the Live 5 News Center just moments ago. Updated information on the track of Hurricane Matthew as it barrels toward us here in the Low Country.
We have team coverage of this storm. Harv Jacobs, Karina Bolster, Alexis Simmons, all out bracing this storm with what all these conditions are. And also we have Sydney Ryan at a local shelter where people are taking refuge. Carter Coyle is getting the very latest information at the Emergency Operations Center.
And our threat count remains right now at a 10 being the highest impact here in South Carolina. So we'll continue to track that. What about rainfall? What about power outages? Very, very important stuff we're going to talk about in timeline. When will those winds kick in? For that, we'll continue our weather team coverage. Jordan Wilkerson standing by over the weather desk.
Thanks, Bill, and good afternoon, Low Country. We are getting you through this today. We're going to keep giving you updates minute by minute here on Live 5 News. So don't turn that channel. Take a look at these rainfall totals that we're talking about today. We're still expecting anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of rain. So we do still have that flash flood watch in effect basically through the whole weekend. So it started early this morning and it will last through Sunday, a flash flood watch due to a lot of rain in a short amount of time. And especially, as Bill said, with this storm riding parallel to the coast, dumping lots and lots of rain. That's why we do have that big potential for the flash flooding. So notice 10.6 inches Moncks Corner, 9.2 Somerville, 9.1 Charleston, 8.9 Walterboro, 10.6 Beaufort. It just depends on where you are. Of course, the further inland you are, a little bit better. However, these numbers could continue to change, and we will keep updating you with all the newest and latest information as we get it in. As soon as we know, you know. Now let's talk about the tides, because Bill was talking about the storm surge, and flash flooding really doesn't, we're not talking about the storm surge when we talk about the flash flooding. That has to do with the precipitation and the rain. The storm surge and the tides, that goes a little bit closer hand in hand. So high tide tonight, we already had one earlier today. Tonight will be 12:57 a.m. So basically Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, once we break into Saturday, 4.9 feet. That's better than what it could be, potentially. We've seen tides much higher than that. However, with the storm surge, we're expecting tonight, overnight, into tomorrow to be probably one of the worst that we'll be seeing. So, and notice as we go through the rest of the weekend, it's pretty much going to be a situation that we'll have to monitor very closely. So we'll talk more about the timeline and what you can expect coming up. I think we're tossing it back to Bill right now.
Jordan, thank you. Now, let's go out, if we can, to Kiowa Island. That's where Alexis Simmons is standing by live right now. Alexis, I understand Kiowa could lose power this afternoon, but this is deliberate. Can you explain what's going on out there?
Well, Bill, you know, Berkeley Electric says that the reason why they're shutting down this power is because it could make things better in the long run. Just in case the power was to go out and the equipment got damaged, they would actually be able to bring the power back a lot quicker by shutting everything down now. So they're really just taking a precautionary measure so that they're trying to make the best outcome for the people here on Kiowa Island. I also want you to take a look behind me here. You can see that the county park to the beach is actually closed right now. People, if you're driving into Kiowa Island, you actually cannot really get much further than where I am, and because they have it barricaded off once you're getting further back in the island, because they don't want people to be here right now. I'll also add that EMS and other personnel, first responders, are not on this island right now. They have evacuated as well. So for people here on the island, if they're needing help, there will be no one that will be immediately here to call. As I was driving in, I didn't see very many cars driving, which is a good sign that people are staying off the roads. I also went door to door knocking to see if anyone was at home at the homes that I saw some cars parked at, and the good news was that no one that I knocked on those doors, no one answered those doors. So it's very deserted looking here on Kiowa Island, not many cars coming through. So just wanted to give you this latest update from Kiowa. I'll have another update on Live 5 News at 5 o'clock. I'll send it back to you, Bill.
All right, Alexis, thank you. Cutting off power to Kiowa and Seabrook before the storm. Wow. Right now, Folly Beach beginning to feel the effects of Hurricane Matthew. Harv Jacobs live at the edge of America right now. Harv, how does it look out there where you are at Folly?
Well, Bill, conditions starting to deteriorate out here. A few minutes ago, it started pouring down rain. It's getting very windy out here. I want to show you what it looks like behind me. There's the Folly Beach Pier out there. You see those big waves crashing under the pier. Of course, the pier is closed right now. They're not going to let anybody out there. Big waves coming into the beach from the Atlantic Ocean. A lot of folks going out onto the beach to get a better look. This is what happens during these hurricanes, even the dangerous ones. People have a fascination of getting close to see what's going on out here. We have a big crowd over at the Tides Hotel. This is where I am and will be for the next couple of nights. In fact, the hotel is filled to capacity right now. Many of the folks out here are locals. I talked to one couple, and I said, why'd you come here? Why not evacuate? They said, well, we'd rather be here than Charlotte. And the hotel, you know, obviously it's a pretty safe place to be, at least we're told. Hopefully it will be. And there's a hurricane party inside. The bar is open. So people are enjoying this up to some point. Folly Beach Police, they set up a checkpoint entering the island, and you can't get on here unless you can prove that you work here or that you live here. Center Street itself, we got a good look at Center Street from outside our hotel room upstairs. It is a ghost town. There's graffiti on some of the boards, on some of the restaurants and the shops telling Matthew to go away. Some of it is kind of dirty, so we're not going to say what it says, but people just want the storm to get out of here. Hopefully, everybody will stay safe. We're live on Folly Beach. Harv Jacobs, Live 5 News.
All right, Aaron Maben standing by live. We have our communications there at the market. Aaron, I see a lot of water behind you. Are you guys staying safe? What's the situation report?
Yeah, well, the curfew ended at 6 a.m. and we already have people out right now exploring this storm. We have told people to stay inside, but Zach and Arjun are here. Guys, what made you get out of bed so early to come and see the storm? Zach?
Figured we wanted to see what was going on. You know, we've been waiting all night for the storm. I got multiple friends whose house I was supposed to check on, businesses, things like that. So we get the curfew lifted. We'd come and see what the city looked like. The neighborhood around where I live was somewhat underwater, so we figured we'd make our way south and see if we could get some swimming in, I guess.
Get some swimming in. And you should notice that Zach's not wearing any shoes right now. So this is what, you know, we don't know what's going on here. What did you notice? Anything alarming? Anything, that gave you a jaw-dropping moment?
No major damage, just a few cars submerged, a couple street signs blown over, a lot of trees and debris in the streets. Nothing crazy.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I will note that it's not illegal. The curfew ended at 6 o'clock. Just surprising to see people out so early. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Aaron. All right, Aaron, thank you very much for that report. And Aaron said the curfew lifted about an hour ago. People are already venturing out, which is exactly what emergency officials do not want you to do.
Right, everywhere that we've seen that had a curfew saying the curfew was about to lift, whether it was 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and saying, but there's no reason for you to be outside. The conditions are not any better, and we are seeing that, and you're seeing all of the water in places. One, don't want to walk out because of the wind, because of the rain. You just don't know if it could pick up again wherever you are. But also, all of that water, you could be stepping into all kinds of problems, whether it be a down power line in the water, something else that's in the water, or just the water itself. It's not clean water, so you don't want to be in that.
This is about 22 miles away from the Battery downtown Charleston, and the weather is still severe here, so you can only imagine how bad it is closer to the coast. Luckily, we've got a little overhang here. There's 310 emergency workers here working through the night, through the weekend, making sure everyone is safe. The management team here told us earlier they were already getting reports of power outages and down power lines in the Johns Island area, in the West Ashley area. So they're asking people at this point to just stay home, stay safe, get into the highest part of your house, and certainly do not try to get out and drive because, again, these power lines that could be on the ground are a huge safety concern.
Here in North Charleston, trees are constantly blowing around. In fact, inside the building, just to give you an idea, about an hour and a half ago, we would hear the occasional kind of whistling through. Now that sound is really present with us. It's more of a howl. That wind is really on top of us here in the North Charleston area. So you can feel it as Matthew kind of makes its way inch by inch. As Joey said, that 12 miles per hour, it's definitely starting to make its way closer to us here.
Mayor Tecklenburg, you guys have been here all night. You guys are going to be here till the storm's over. What do you want people at home watching right now? As you can see, the storm behind us is blowing in. What do you want people to know?
Stay home, stay inside, stay safe. You know, I went around the city earlier this evening, and I felt so proud that our city staff and public safety officials had worked so hard to get folks to evacuate and to be safe inside their homes.